Hi, everyone. Welcome to our One World Peace, our energy encounter with the Zohar. This week's portion is Re'eh, and there is no Zohar for that. So we're going to be at verse 41 of the prologue of volume 1. So it's volume 1, prologue, verse 41. The article is called The Lock and the Key. Before we begin, let's set our consciousness to wherever we are in the world, we are connecting to the metaphysical realm, the realm of fulfillment and blessings, the level of binah. And in our connection to that, we want to channel all kinds of positivity, not starting with, let's talk about and think about channeling the energy of healing for everyone we know who needs healing. And just think about those people that you know and send them energy of healing. Chana bat Rivka, Sarah bat Yehudit, Sarah bat Malka, all those people that we know need healing. Let's just connect to that energy and send them energy of healing. Also, let's send that energy of assistance to those souls that we know that are in the first year of the process of elevating. Moshe ben Naftali.
Robert Ben Maryland.
Robert Ben Maryland.
Vanessa Chaldina for healing.
Let's also connect to the energy of Ahavat Chinam, unconditional love, treating everyone with human decency, protection from evil eye and evil speech, the energy of course, peace for the world, ending the war between Russia and the Ukraine, ending the war in Israel, the safe release of all the hostages that are being held by Hamas, protection for the whole land of Israel from the threats of Hezbollah in the north and Iran. And so we want that conflict, that overall conflict in that world to end and just connect to the energy of peace for that region of the world. Removal of chaos and negativity from our world. And I think that's a good start. Okay, so we're channeling all that energy for the world in our study. Inviting in the lineage of the Rav and Karen and Michael, Rav Shlag, Rav Brandwein, the Area Kodesh, the Ramchal, Rabbi Tarfon, Rav Aaron Zulai, Rav Menachem Mendel Tepsk, Rav Kolon Shapir Pia Setza, the Baal Shem Tov, Rav Shimon Bar Yochai and all the students, Rav Mordechai of Chernobyl, went soul with Yosef at Tzaddik, Joseph the Righteous, and Shechem. There are no anniversaries of elevation on our Kabbalistic calendar today, but tonight and tomorrow is the anniversary of elevation for Rabbi Yehuda Moshe Pataya. And also significant to us, Shimon ben Yosef Sarfati, his anniversary of elevation is tonight. He was one of our teachers and whose children remain our teachers. Okay, so we have the assistance of all those souls. So the portion Re'eh, it's actually one of the 72 letters. And yes, his son was with us for Pinchas. It's one of the 72 letters, Re'eh, one of the 72 names, I should say. And there is no Zohar portion allocated to this week's portion. So usually what we do is we go to the prologue, which is where we are in volume 1, and we're going to be at verse 41. But I just want to just share, like the consciousness for Re'eh. Re'eh means to see. So the opportunity we have this week is to more further develop our sight. And I don't mean like, corrective vision physically. I mean our ability to see a deeper reality. And so that is the opportunity that we have this week. And it's powerful, no matter what, even if we've studied this section before, we want to look at it with a fresh set of eyes and see what else shows up for us. And I would suggest that on a very practical level, whatever is going on in our life, we also want to take a step back and look at it with a fresh set of eyes, with a different perspective, with a more open approach, so that we can see what we haven't seen. I mean, to say there's stuff in our blind spot is an understatement. We don't even know. It's so we're so blind to our blind spot. We don't even know what's in our blind spot. That's kind of the point. It's in our blind. We don't know what we don't know. And so the opportunity is for us to ask for assistance in seeing that deeper reality and using the key to kind of unlock that blind spot, whatever's stuck there. So that's the opportunity that we have this week, and that's the opportunity that this particular Zohar presents us with. There is another Zohar I was going to do called The Vision of Rabbi Chia, which specifically deals with vision. I think we've done that before, but not that we couldn't do it again, but we're going to do a different one right now. Verse 41. Rabbi Chia v'Rabbi Yossi hava azle ba'archa. Kadmato lochad be'chakal. Amar le Rabbi Chia leRabbi Yossi. Hai da'amritu barashit. Vadai hachihu begin deshit yomin. Ilain gabe oraita v'la yatir. Acharanin stimin inun. Okay, so let's go slow, Ellen. Verse 41.
Me, right?
You.
Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Yossi were walking along.
Okay. All right, hang on a second. They were walking along. Now, what does that tell us? I think, why do we need to know that they were walking along? Maybe they were jogging. Maybe they were sitting in a coffee shop. Like, why do we need to know they were walking along?
As opposed to praying, as opposed to sleeping.
Well, okay, so, but yeah, that's true. But I think the point is, that's true. But I think the point is that the Zohar is including this because there's something to be gained from this idea that they were walking along. When two righteous souls go on a walk, it's metaphorically the journey of life. And so the first benefit we get from this section, the first opportunity that we have, is to understand it's about the journey. Now, and we've all heard this. It's like, we're in the spiritual realm, so it's about the journey, not the destination. No, but it literally is about the journey. And we need that reminder. Because if we're going to see the significance of what's going on in our life, we need to, start with the end in mind. That's fine. As Stephen Covey says, start with the end in mind. It's one of his big 7. Yeah, start with the end in mind. But now that we started that way, we're now engaged in a process. And look, let's face it. I mean, think of a process going on in your life that you wish were over already. We all have at least one, if not multiple. There's a million things going on I wish I already accomplished. Business opportunities, redoing my kitchen. I'm not, but I'm sure people are. So all those projects that we have going on. I mean, we see the lack. We see we're not there. But again, we don't want to focus on the lack. We want to focus on the journey. Because all appearances to the contrary, you have everything you need. Oh, no, David, objectively, I'm missing X. No, I know that's the way it feels. But you wouldn't know that you're missing it if it wasn't already somewhere, if you hadn't already experienced it. It is there. No, literally, it's not here. I can see that it's not here. I know you can, you're looking in the wrong place, perhaps. If you can see it, then it is there. But I'm not experiencing it. Well, because you're supposed to experience the process and increase your desire to manifest it. It may not be manifested, but it's there. Well, that's somewhat of a paradox. How can it be there and not manifested? Well, again, if you can see that paradox, then you're closer to the truth, as the Rav used to say. If you see the paradox, you're closer to the truth. So let's live with that paradox. And that's part of what we need to see. It's part of the huge benefit we always have, but specifically, it's part of the benefit we have this week and connecting to the Zohar is the ability to see the process, to see that it's there, it's just not manifested. And what's required to manifest it is increasing our desire. I had a conversation with one of our teachers recently. I'm like, look, every time I talk to my teacher about something I want, they're always saying, you need to have more desire. And the teacher said, well, what do you think? I hear the same thing from my teacher. We all hear that. That's part of the journey. We all want to be growing in our desire for the things we want to manifest, but understand that they're there. You don't see it manifested. But if you can feel what it's like, you're experiencing it. And so David Guillaume is always talking about, like, don't leave your house in a place of lack. Start your day, leave your house with, like, I have everything I need. But with things I don't have. No, you have those too. You want to show up like you have those. That's part of, we desire it and we have it. And that's where we need to be, paradoxically, to manifest it. Yes, Ellen, I saw your hand up.
Well, I was just going to say that it's a direct correlation to how hungry are you for what you say you want. You know,
Yes.
I mean, and we know when we are so committed to getting what that is that we want, we get it, and we can look back and say, hey, I was doing everything I knew to do, and that's what brought it into manifestation.
That's right.
I did everything.
Right. And then some, like maybe there's more I need to do. Yes, 100%. So the other thing is that, so, okay, and then read the next 5 words, just that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Wait, I gotta go back. I'm sorry.
So
All right. So as they reached a field,
aha, wait a second. Do we need to know, like they reached, what does it mean they reached a field? By the way, the Aramaic is archa.
it's what?
It's the word is archa. It's like it's field. So like, what does it mean field? So this is an energy field that they entered. Now, right? I mean, what do you mean? Wasn't it a physical field? Yeah, well, even a physical field is an energy field. Hence the term field. So, yes.
The paragraph I was reading this morning reference, well, a number of them, but referenced the Darka as well. But it referenced that it was earth. It was talking about, and again, it was about creation, but it said the definition was earth, or in that case.
Yes, it is earth. So literally, it's like, their journey is in Malchut, is in the physical realm. 100%. And there are different words that are used to express that, but yeah, I can't really speak to why the unique aspect of Archa, but in terms of field, it's an energy field. We live in a fragmented world. We're in different energy fields all the time. And so one of the things that we want to also be able to see, we want to perceive the energy of the place that we're in. Like there's a reason why different rooms feel different, because the energy is different. So as we go on this journey, we want to develop a greater ability to see, to perceive the energy that we encounter. It's good, is it positive energy or is it negative energy? By negative, I don't mean bad, I mean energy sapping. Is it taking my energy away? Is it weakening my own energy? Or is it strengthening my energy? So, for those of us, hopefully, that can all make it to Rosh Hashanah, the Kabbalistic New Year, the first week of October in New York, like one of the reasons why we go is because we're connected, we're in a room with a couple thousand people all there to connect to the unlimited energy of the seed level of the year. This, I think it's Monday, Tuesday of this week, is the new moon for Elul, for Virgo. It's another like opportunity, energetically, window in time that's available is to connect to the seed level for the month. So, again, we're going to be around people and around places, and we just want to be present to that energy. So Rabbi Chi and Rabbi Yossi reach a field. They reach a different field of energy than they were traveling on. I mean, so we're marking that distinction. Okay, well, then what happens?
Okay, as they reached a field, Rabbi Chia said to Rabbi Yossi, what you have said that Barashi created 6 is alluded to in the word Bereshit is certainly so.
Okay, so we had actually, as a group, studied this on our Thursday class in a different section, a Zohar that made the same reference. Coincidence? So, what exactly is going on here? So, by the way, they get to the field, and then what's the importance of saying, as they reached the field, he said to him, listen, when something pops into your head, that feeling is like, pop, something is dropped into my head. Where'd it come from? Not you. So, what happened was they reached a field, and all of a sudden, he picked up a new radio station. Back in the old days, well, I guess it's still true. You take road trips, like you'd be near a city, you could listen to the rock station there, and the further you got away, it started getting static, you lost it, and you're like, I got to find another radio station to listen to. The signal is gone. Well, okay, so we're picking up signals all the time. Positive signals and negative signals. So how do they know they reached a field? Perhaps they knew because all of a sudden he picked up a different frequency. But again, we want to be attuned to that in our own life. I was having a conversation with someone this week, and it was just like going downhill from the beginning. and I'm like, I got to get out of it. I got to get off this call. This is just I'm out of here. And then all of a sudden, something popped into my head. I mean, I was taking it down. and I said, wait, stop yourself for a second. Maybe, and all of a sudden I stopped, and all of a sudden I completely changed the trajectory for myself. I mean, there's no question in my mind, these were my guides helping me out. And we want that. So we want to be attuned to that. It wasn't me. Oh, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I'm so smart. No, it was not me. It was not me. I was completely in the wrong place. So again, we if I had stayed there, perhaps I wouldn't have. The only thing I was able to do is kind of pause and be open to hearing the messages that our guides are sending us all the time. So this is what happens with Rabbi Chia. Something pops into his head. Now, does he keep it to himself? He could have. If he did keep it to himself, probably we wouldn't be reading the Zohar. He doesn't. He shares it. So the other thing that's important, when stuff pops into your head, you have to be understand. Is this something I should share right now? I mean, we've all had the experience where we said something we thought was appropriate, and we got like a really bad response. And so if you're somewhat introspective, you might say to yourself, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have shared that. That's not necessarily where you should be. Just because you got a response, a dramatic response, maybe it's exactly what you should have said. It's exactly, and that's the way we need to be. Everything that's happening at every moment is precisely the way it's supposed to be playing out. That is the consciousness we want. And that again it's an elevated seeing. What's happening at all times. Don't second guess yourself, even if it didn't go well. It was supposed to happen that way. So don't take yourself too seriously. I mean, at a certain level, don't take yourself so seriously. It was supposed to happen that way. Now, what am I learning from it? So that's the question. So Rabbi Chia doesn't keep it to himself. He shares with Rabbi Yossi. What does he share? The first word in the 5 books of Moses, in the Torah, is Breshit, which we translate as in the beginning. And there are volumes written just about that first word, because there are multiple ways to understand it. And there are multiple Zohars that go into how to understand it. This particular energy consciousness that popped into Rabbi Chia's head, which he shared with Rabbi Yossi, is that he's actually repeating back to Rabbi Yossi what Rabbi Yossi had previously said to Rabbi Chia. I mean, it didn't have to say that. It says what you have said. So he's saying, hey, Rabbi Yossi, remember when you told me X? Why do we have to know that? Again, it's like in our realm, we have this illusion of time. We can't tell from here if they're having this conversation from before the field and into the field, or if he said it to him last week. We don't know. It almost doesn't matter. It's still playing around in his head. And again, it's like all of a sudden he got the insight that he wanted to share about what Rabbi Yossi had previously told him. And so, like, again, like the things that happen to us, the experiences that we have, the thoughts that we have, it's like you're going to get confronted with an inconvenient truth about yourself. And sometimes we have an error in thinking, and someone points out this, that's an error in thinking, not a mistake, just an error in thinking. We're looking at it from a different perspective than perhaps we should. And so, whenever we're confronted with something we didn't know already, when you are confronted with something from your blind spot, you're going to reject it. And that's an aspect of what's in your blind spot. It's stuff that you have already rejected. Life isn't presenting us challenges that we understand and we're just knock off. No. Life's presenting us with challenges we don't accept. We reject, we push them away. So another aspect, another opportunity for us is we want to that's a reactivity. We don't want to be reactive to what we're presented to. We want to really use the pause at that point. We want to pause. And so when we hear something that maybe we'll see it as critical, maybe we'll see it as inappropriate, maybe we see it as it's really not me, just pause and just, say to yourself, let me give myself some time to think about that before I reject it outright. Because there's a reason that's coming up for me. And sometimes I won't hit, it'll be days before I really see the insight. Sometimes it'll be moments. But, it's an opportunity for fresh perspective. And again, that ties right into Re'eh, into our ability to see, to our ability to perceive, into our ability to perceive a wider spectrum consciously than I'm currently open to. So, and what in particular is it that Rabbi Chia is repeating back to Rabbi Yossi? Well, Breshit doesn't really just mean in the beginning. I mean, it doesn't. It means so many things. But there's one particular reading of it, and that is this idea of Barashit. So if you take the word Breshit, you can break it up actually to 2 words. Bara, created, sheet, 6. He created 6. I'll tell you, the first time I saw this, and this is not the first time I've been confronted with this concept, I didn't really understand what was going on. And you might not either right now. If it's the first time, if it's not the first time, maybe you've had time to wrap your head around it. But give it time to sink in. Because things are not as they appear. And again, another huge benefit for us is to remind ourselves, things are not as they appear. Whatever's going on in your life, take a step back and try to look at it from a different perspective. So the perspective that we have here is Bereshit. He created 6. Anyone want to take a stab at what the significance of 6 is?
We just talked about it yesterday. The Sfirot of Zerampin.
Correct. Absolutely. We are in the Sphira of Malchut. That's the realm that we occupy, the realm of manifestation. The 6 Sphirot above us, Chesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, 2 essentially triangles, but 3 columns, form 6 Sphirot. They're referred to as Zerampin because they're tied together. And so they're referred to many times as a group of 1, or one group of 6 Sphirot. Now, the fascinating thing I think about that is that Moses, it's called the 5 books of Moses. Moses was our channel to Zerampin, so he transformed our reality to enable us to, from the physical realm, connect to the metaphysical realm. So Zerampin represents that first level of, because there are many, of the metaphysical realm that we can connect to. And he bridges that gap. That's the power of Moses. He opens up those channels on a grand scale. That's why it's referred to the 5 books of Moses. So the Torah itself that we will read tomorrow morning, and we read yesterday morning and Monday morning, we'll read it on Monday and Tuesday because it's the new moon. There are all these opportunities. We have to connect to this extremely powerful energy. It's a connection to Zerampin. So, and as we've discussed before, every column in the Torah, it's columns. Every column starts with the letter Vav. When I heard this, and I think I've been studying, Kabbalah for 10 years, like I didn't learn this on day one. When I heard this, I was like, what? Like, how could I not have known that? Yeah, every column starts with the letter Vav, which is the number for 6. So every column starts with 6, Zerampin. Every column, every time you see Vav, it's a connection to Zerampin, 6. So every column is it's like the column itself, it's not like it is coming, the energy of each column is coming to us through Zerampin. Of course it is. It's coming from the metaphysical realm.
Are you going
Torah
to add?
scroll, what's that?
Are you going to add that there are 6 columns that don't start with the letter Vav?
I'm going to get there.
6, yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. It's like, this is not literature. This is like metaphysical energy that's manifesting on parchment, black fire on white fire. This is an incredibly powerful tool that we have so many rituals, so many things around it to store that energy and maintain that energy. And like, if one letter's off, the whole thing is puzzled. The whole thing is not working. One letter. That's all you need. A crack in one letter. There is one letter that has a crack that's a legitimate crack, but that's a side point. So this is it's like, and again, I didn't understand this. I knew it was like a holy thing, but what does even that mean? Not until I started studying that, I start like being able to see the great and deep significance of these things. So, as Peter's saying, every column starts with the Vav, the 6, the connection to Zerampin, this channel from the upper realm, except there's 6 exceptions. Okay. And those are significant. But the one of the 6 exceptions is the first word, Breshit. It's one of the 6, it starts with the letter Bet. This is one thing. Yeah, it's one exception, except it says Barashi created 6. So in a sense, it is starting with the Vav. It's the creation of the 6. So I don't know if it's really an exception. On one level, it looks like one. Another level, it apparently isn't. Apparently, it's not. Oh, okay, so this is like, again, this is where what we see. What do you sing? You sing in the beginning? Yeah. Can you see Barashit? Can you see creating 6? Can you see that? And so another tremendous opportunity for us is having this ability to unlock the blockages that stand in the way. And this is what I believe is meant by the lock and the key. The key is consciousness. The key is openness. The key is asking life for assistance. The key is overcoming our nature to minimize and overlook the things that don't comport with our current perspective. I'm only looking for things that support what I already know. Good luck. Good luck with that journey. That's not the journey we're connecting to here. We're connected to a journey of seeing things that are different than what we already know. That's not a journey. That's a collection. I need validation. Now, look, validation is important. Don't get me wrong, but I want to live an expansive life, a life where I can receive for the sake of sharing, where I can channel more blessings into the world. But I need to expand my vessel. And how do I expand my vessel? I get challenged. And so I need to embrace those challenges. I want to see Zeranpin, wherever it is. And it's there in the first word of Breshit, hidden. Literally, it's hidden in plain sight. It's hidden in plain sight. It's so powerful because it's like you're unpacking this like whole other realm, whole other. Now, where else? Now I have a tool to like look at things differently. Where else do I need to take that? So that's what we're getting here. We're getting another tool to unpack, to unlock, to see beyond, to peel the curtain back and see what's hidden behind that curtain, metaphorically. Okay, let's continue.
Okay,
Because
right. Meaning the 6, let's see, is alluded to the word Birish is certainly so, because only
by the way, it's certainly so.
it certainly is.
It certainly is, but this again it can't be minimized. Certainty. It's like this is us connecting to the energy of certainty. The more certainty you have in your life, the less uncertainty. Right? And we want to go through life with certainty. Because consciousness, like the more certainty you have, the more things you can open up with your consciousness.
Right.
It's like I had a conversation earlier today with someone. I was like trying to explain, like, when we go to the mikveh, it's like it's not a physical thing. It is. You're physically getting into the water. We're removing negativity that we've picked up. It's a spiritual thing. Now, rest assured, there's many people that go to the mikveh don't connect to the deeper spiritual opportunity there. And then you can tell people about the spiritual opportunity, but they can't wrap their heads around it. So having the certainty, right, again, it's about seeing, like having that certainty that this is a metaphysical transaction here. Well, newsflash. Everything's a metaphysical transaction. Everything's a metaphysical opportunity. Everything, this isn't even real. This is an illusion. So again, it's like I need to see beyond that illusion. And the more certainty I have, I'm now not using my 5 senses. I'm using my 6th sense. I'm using my 3rd eye. I'm connecting to soul because your soul sees all of that and knows all of that. But it's just like, it's all the static that physicality introduces between my consciousness of my physical being and my consciousness of my soul. So again, we're opening up this opportunity to connect to soul, to connect to truth, to connect to our authentic self. So like, I'm sure we all know people who just, there's something funny about them. And I don't mean haha. I'm laughing. I don't mean funny haha. I mean funny like there's some kind of a mismatch. Like sometimes I see their true authentic self and sometimes I don't. And I'm just saying it's kind of like a red flag. Because you want to be authentic. And the more authentic you are, the more authentic people you attract into your life. But some people are not connected to authenticity at all. And then there are those that are authentic and then not authentic. Like they're in conflict. And it's really important to see that. Because there's almost nothing you can do about it. There's nothing you can do. That's our journey. That's their journey. But again, if I want to go through the world with unconditional love and treating everyone with human decency, that's an important distinction to be able to make. Because I can have unconditional love for their soul, but when they're being inauthentic, it's a little hard to love that. That I don't have to love. And that also could be incredibly damaging, depending on the kind of relationship we have and how big they are in our life. I don't control that. I only control my authenticity. So when I'm with inauthentic beings, can I be authentic? It's a little difficult, if not impossible. So again, it's among the most important things, yes, is working on ourselves. It's all important. But it plays out in terms of the relationships that we have. And we want to be we want to be involved with authentic relationships, with people who can show up authentically, can be emotionally available, can be honest with themselves, can be honest with us. And so, again, this is Rabbi Yechia being honest with Rabbi Yossi at a certain level. He's sharing what's coming up for him. We want to those are the most important relationships we have. And so we also need boundaries around relationships that aren't showing up that way. Because to a certain degree, we're connecting to that energy of inauthenticity, and we don't want that. It's not helping us on our journey. It is helping us because it's reminding us of what I need, the way I need to be and the way I need to show up. So that level, having certainty about our ability to see those distinctions. One of the things about Gvura, we know that Gvura, the left column energy, the energy of Isaac, is this energy of judgment. But it's also this energy of appreciation. And it's also this energy of discernment. It's like it's seeing is discerning. Right column from left column, authentic from inauthentic, positive from negative. It's like we want to be able to be perceiving and feeling all these things on our journey. Okay, continue.
Okay, because only the supernal 6 days, meaning the 6 extremities of Binah, have a bearing on the Torah, which
okay,
is
so wait, only the 6 days. So wait, are we talking about the 6 days or are we talking about the 6 Sfirot of Zeran Pen? What happened? There's no difference. There's no difference. Yeah, it's an aspect. The days are aspects of those 6 columns. I'll tell you another thing that I never realized. We probably discussed this before, but this whole idea of what we call the Jewish star. Everyone knows the Jewish star, but a lot of people are wearing it these days. We call it the Jewish star, but in Hebrew, it's not Jewish star. It's Magen David, the shield. Magen is a shield. Magen David, the shield of David. Apparently it's what, maybe he had that on his shield when he went into battle. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, I don't know. But what I didn't know for a very long time, I was studying Zohar, I was studying Kabbalah for a long time, is that it's a 6-pointed star. It's the 6 Sfirot of Zeran Pin. It's Zeran Pin. The star is Zeran Pin also. It's the upper triad and the lower triad, as the Rav explained. So why is it a shield? Why is it a shield? Because when you have an understanding that there's a physical realm and that there's a metaphysical realm that we connect to, that informs everything that we experience, and you're on that journey, the universe doesn't have to send you a reminder of pain or a slap across the face. The world doesn't have to do that. So is it protection? Yes, because we're already in that. We're already connecting. We're already doing that work. We're already trying to connect to that soul. We're already trying to align ourselves with our soul's journey here. So this is all about, to bottom line this, just finish in English because we're out of time. Ellen?
Which is Zeran Pin and no more, while the others, namely the upper 3 Separot of Binah, are concealed.
Okay, so we connect to Zeran Pin. There's 3 Sefirot above that, which Binah is a part of, which aren't revealed. So we do everything through Zeran Pin. We're getting access to the unrevealed through what is revealed. And so the opportunity that we have this week, and this final opportunity, because we're wrapping up, is this opportunity to connect. There's revealed, and then there's hidden revealed, which is Zeran Pin. We're connecting to that metaphysical realm, which gives us the opportunity to connect to the highest 3 Sefirot, the source for all the blessings that channel through Zeran Pin that we manifest in our world. So, of course, it's natural to have lack, but having lack knows what it is. It's in potential. It is there. We do have it. And understanding that gives us the opportunity to see that deeper reality and be channels for manifestation for ourselves and the world around us. Okay, everybody, we're out of time.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Thank you all.
Shabbat shalom.
Shalom.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom.